It's a lot of fun, it's funny, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but there's still a lot of relatability to the characters.
We're looking for something unusual, something dangerous.
What are you?
I actually read the script, and it felt to me like a classic adventure story.
Take a look. He likes hiding in my truck.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
I felt so responsive to the material itself. Not just from the regular point that you feel responsive to movies, but the script was so encouraging that I can tell my agent that this is interesting. This is gonna be a fascinating journey.
Mr. Weathers, there's a lot of really weird stuff going on right now, and I need your help.
What do you need?
I need trucks. Here we go.
Meredith is a young girl who is Tripp's classmate. She loves animals, and she's just sort of excited about life and things, and that includes cute boys, which is where the relationship between her and Tripp begins.
It's got these hair-like things on its tentacles. Cilia. They can generate a massive amount of torque, especially once I scored the axles to give it more surface area to grip.
You're not done.
What?
Nothing.
Lucas came along and he just had all this stuff. You can see the angst on his face at the beginning of the movie, and you can see that he's cornered, and you can see that the situations in his life are not gonna allow him to grow.
I like your truck.
I thought it was funny and cute, and I thought it would be fun to play Meredith.
It's always beautiful to watch young people embrace the script, make choices, and watching the subtlety of that over the times that I've been here has been just a pleasure to watch.
You write it, and then it's out of your hands. When I started getting the dailies, I just thought, oh, this is perfect.
He came from somewhere. He has a home. Don't you think he wants to go back there?
Sure, but he's safe in here in the meantime. Besides, he's having fun.
It was wonderful. We just were off to the races, and with Chris Hedges' lead, we managed to find this great little balance.
I cannot believe you're here. I'm actually really happy to see you.
Hey, I told you I wasn't going anywhere.
I really got an opportunity to cast people that were gonna be good characters.
I've never worked with Rob Lowe before. I will say this, a couple things about him. Better looking in person.
Comes highly recommended.
And one of the funniest people you'll ever meet.
What was that?
And yet playing the villain.
Look, they have to be bad. I mean, that's the job. It's like, I'm the bad guy.
They're on the move.
What?
I start the film as a nerdy guy. I end the film as a nerdy guy, but I do get sort of more glorious in a lot of the truck driving that I get to do.
Sorry.
I did about 16 weeks out in Kamloops with some Canadian truck drivers who taught me some of those things you just saw. That was pulls the horn. I don't have to tell you because it was probably clear, but these are some of the things you'll see me do in the film.
I've been an animator for my career, and I've wanted to try a live-action movie.
Hope you picked something up from watching me.
A week ago, you were riding a bicycle.
We're all quite honored that we're his first humans, and he seems to like working with humans as much as he does animation.
It's funny, he directs actors like he's been directing them his whole career.
It's cool to incorporate the animated world with live action when it's done right, and I knew that it was going to be accomplished on this movie.
Having to really lean on his direction in terms of what you're seeing, how is it coming to life, and what is the creature doing, or how are these trucks moving, and what should my reaction to that be? And he's very good at that because he's so visual.
It's just us sitting in the car with the blue screen and Chris saying, okay, and then turn left, and then turn right, and then look scared, and then Tripp's about to die, Tripp's about to die, Tripp's about to die, and then the creatures are about to die.
The actors are as much a part of bringing that to life as any of the special effects people are. That's the fun, and that's what's specific, and that's what's different about working in this genre.
I'm gonna get you home and away from whoever's after you. I love you too.
Technology's made it almost seamless, that you can put anybody anywhere or anything with anybody anywhere.
It's very similar to a fully CG animated type movie. The challenge I find with integration with the live action is that it has to be that much more real.
We had a couple of tricks up our sleeve. We had a creature performer out on set, so we had a guy in a green ninja suit operating that giant stuffy for the family reunion sequence.
It's cool to actually have something to interact with when you're imagining so much.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get back in there.
You have to imagine it before anybody else imagines it. That's what's fun about doing this.
Fortunately for me, the challenges were met by competent, experienced people that knew how to make this gigantic stuff happen.
It was very rewarding. We definitely accomplished something pretty special on this one.
Whoa! Did you see that?
Oh, I really hope they have their seatbelts on. Let's go!
For this character, we have to essentially create a new species. And within a few minutes of seeing him on the screen, you have to believe that he really exists.
They managed to make this incredible smooth motion, so it looks like a character. It looks like it's alive.
Welcome to MPC's animation department here, working on Monster Trucks. We've got, I think, a total of about 30 animators across, I think it was 1,200 shots total, about 750 that had animation. We're working on a bunch of big sequences at the moment, and we're going to talk to a couple of the guys in more detail now.
You know, when I first heard about it, I thought it would just be enormous trucks. I didn't think it would be a truck driven by a monster. I think that's quite a cool idea.
The digital trucks were actually a ton of fun to build up. We took a lot of reference on set, just of the truck, the textures, and how they were actually performing with the remote controls that they were using to have them act on set.
I'd never worked on that kind of thing before, so it's always fun to have a new challenge and think, how are we going to do that? How are we going to have a monster crawling along the ground and inside a truck?
We talked about it for nearly a year, understanding how it moved, how it would be in the truck, what the truck would do and we'd be able to do.
You see that?
How does he power the vehicle? How does he operate the suspension and get locomotion in the vehicle? So we're utilizing aspects of him like the tentacles, so they can wrap the drivetrain. And he's got these cilia underneath the tentacles that allow him to power the drivetrain of the truck.
This thing is kind of awesome, like strong and smart, really smart. He can learn anything.
He's got his tentacles wrapped around the axle of the truck and he's going super fast. So his hands are kind of shaking like this the whole time. And so we have to add secondary ripples of motion going down the arms. And then on the face, we have a lot of rippling skin just to sell the speed that he's going forward.
I guess the first sequences that I was leading on was the town chase sequence, which is where Trip and Meredith have to try and evade Burke and his henchmen through the town. This sequence was one of the big unveilings of the new gadgets that Trip has installed into the truck.
Watch this.
The gull-wing doors, which open up in the front to give room to get his tentacles outside of the truck. Those were used in scaling a building as well as jumping a street, which we called at one point the Frogger jump.
Whoa! Did you see that?
There's some fantastic action. It's neat seeing him do these crazy chase scenes, going down mountains and smashing trucks. But some of the stuff that I think I've liked the most are some of the subtle moments. These moments where you just get to sort of see a little bit into who he is and sort of has this like adorable puppy dog-like persona when his guard's down.
Right.
Anytime you have a shot where you have to kind of show like something like heartfelt, like emotion, those shots are always the hardest ones to do because you want the audience to feel what the characters are feeling.
The animators would film themselves as well, as much as it might seem like a stretch. But it's important for you to kind of inhabit the character and try to feel what it is that the animal's feeling.
I'm gonna get you home. I promise you that.
The very first thing that I did was I shot some reference of myself acting it out, and then I just do a really quick blocking pass of the creature following what I'm doing. And in this case, it felt really good. It felt really successful the first time around. In this sequence right here, he's kind of like a big soggy blanket, so Trip has lifted him up on a forklift and tossed him onto a flatbed. But he's not really happy about this. He's a little pouty, he's a little whiny, you know, and Trip is saying, "Oh, quit your whining," and he's just kind of like, "Nah, nah, nah." There we go. It's really good as a base to shoot reference like this and then animate off of it, but you don't want to go too close to it because in the end, I'm not a giant seal octopus creature and he's not a human, so I don't want him to look like a human.
The thing that I love the most is every day is different and every shot is different, and it's the most fun problem solving you can have all day.
It's very interesting throughout the course of the day. You can get caught up in the minutia, how a creature is looking in a particular shot, and I'll often be surprised at how incredible our creature is looking, how cute he is.
It becomes, I know we say monster truck, and it becomes then a creature in the trucks, and it really becomes a friend in a truck.
You were a good truck.
Trip! Hey, Sam. You wanna see something crazy? This place is flipping out right now. Told you never seen anything like this.
The idea was to have a truck that had some personality, that had a face and had an attitude. I've been an animator for my career, and so I wanted to create a character that was the truck.
We're looking for something unusual, something dangerous.
What are you?
The first thing we had to do was figure out how this creature's going to inhabit the truck. So he finds the shell and he exists in it.
Take a look. He likes hiding in my truck.
The additional challenge we had was how does he power the vehicle and be able to move it? He has a lot of strength, so he can push up so the truck pops up.
It is an engine for my truck.
Isn't that right, Creech?
We named him Creech.
He's able to do things that monster trucks can do, but he takes it just to the next level.
Did that just happen?
Oh yeah, it did.
And the truck does extraordinary things.
Think you can keep up with me? You got it!
Whoa! You see that?
Show off! The truck is definitely the star of the movie.
Watch out! Now's a good time to take charge!
Let go! I can see better than you! Hey, get back in there!
To touch his eye!
The truck's amazing. It's a fully functional truck, and a lot of times it's driving down the road with no one in it. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, I really hope they had their seatbelts on.
Mostly I've seen it sort of dance around like it was at a nightclub, the truck. It can do almost anything. They've got it on a remote control, so it can do all kinds of stuff, which technically means it can do slightly more than Rob Lowe.
A real go-getter? Comes highly recommended.
It blew my mind.
What was that?
I mean, just the incredible ingenuity of special effects and also the creativeness around the truck itself.
Mr. Weathers, there's a lot of really weird stuff going on right now, and I need your help.
What do you need?
I need trucks.
The trucks, these giant mudder tires and just the best of the best gear. Everything has been designed to take punishment. I was so jealous of some of the vehicles that these guys were driving.
They let me, jump from truck to truck and then climb. It was really me doing all this stuff, all my childhood dreams have come true.
Today we take this monster truck over here and we put it on a donut rig, which allows the truck to spin donuts without being dangerous so that it's 100% accurate, the same every time.
The actor can stand on this plate. It doesn't spin. It's connected to the concrete, and he'll be safe as the truck drives all the way around.
Move over! I'm driving!
Oh, really?
I think Tripp's trucks, colors and tone, really it was a long process of development.
Does that sound weird to you?
How is a monster living in the hood of your car supposed to sound?
I think the reason when you do watch the footage of the trucks, it does feel a caricature, an animated sort of vehicle, only because it's sort of a surreal design in its own right. It's sort of larger than life. It's got movement and character as a vehicle because it's animatronic, so it comes alive. And I think that's why it feels sort of a surreal vehicle out in the real environment.
Train him to do this?
Yes. I have no idea how I learned this.
We are continually crashing them into each other. We are crashing them into the side of the mountains. We're dropping them off mountains. We're doing all kinds of things that no truck would ever last through. We're asking more of these trucks than the average person will ask of them. And they've come through time and time and time again for us. They gave us probably between 40 and 50 vehicles. And vehicles I'm gonna send them back that are intact, less than 10.
Later on in production is where that stuff gets tricky with all the technical people, all the visual effects artists and supervisors. I mean, it's like a science and an art. It's pretty hardcore.
The digital effects that we are doing, the CG cars, all have to be so convincing that you don't know the difference.
With the monsters driving them, they can do a little more than what you can do in a normal truck. And then we did a barrel roll. Pretty cool.
Oh, you picked something up from watching me?
A week ago, you were riding a bicycle.
These trucks are a little different because they're run by monsters. It lives up to its name.
People ask me a lot of time, don't you get upset when they break things or they wreck things? No, that's what we do.
Okay, Crease, let's get you fed.
I like your truck.
Thanks.
You know, this film, it's a feel-good film with monsters that are in trucks, and we've done some creative things with what trucks can physically do in the real world. With the monsters driving them, they can do a little more than what you can do in a normal truck. So like what we've done in this one, this truck is in a bind. He's being hemmed in and beaten on by some of the bad guys, and he's up against a wall. And we had one of these trucks, and we did a barrel roll over the top of the Merc truck and landed on the other side. Something you don't really see in movies, and a lot of times when you see it, it's all CG, and we did it all practical. We flipped a real truck just like this over the top of a mercenary truck and landing it on the other side. And then that mercenary truck ends up crashing behind it and flipping. It's pretty cool.
Well, we started off by listening to the director asked us that the monster comes to a stop on the freeway and everything's jammed up and he sees what he wants to get, the truck going by, that he can't get it unless he leaps off the bridge. So we had to get him to leap off the bridge and clear it and then save the vehicle. So we bought a whole bunch of boxes, 3-4 layers of boxes to land it upon, and we used 2 car flippers simultaneously fired, so the truck went straight up in the air, and then we had another cable attached to the front of the car to a crane to an enormous 4,000-pound weight. We fired both car flippers and dropping of the weight simultaneously. So the car leaped up in the air, so it's a simultaneous lift up, jam out into the boxes successfully.
Sometimes it's really fun. 2 of our crew members that are on set every day were in their green suits, and they were playing Mama and Papa Creature. And I don't know if it was we were working too many hours, but I couldn't stop laughing no matter what. We're just seeing our friends like crawl across the floor in their green outfits and like trying to take it seriously was really hard for a couple takes. It's surprisingly hard to work on a green screen. It's fun. It's like a new experience being strapped into this car on this motion base that can do so many things, but actually doing the job of feeling present and reacting to things that are definitely not happening, that's sort of hard.
I was looking over there for Trip, but you want me to look here right now.
You're pretty self-conscious because you have like nothing to bring you into the present moment. That's a challenge.
Go Trip! We made it!
So one of the best parts about Trip's truck here is we got a fly down on the set right now, and we can do that completely remote control. Nobody's driving the truck right now. Sean's over there doing the gas brakes and steering, and I'm here doing all the leaning, tilting, breathing, all that type of action. So right now it's powered completely by the onboard battery system. So if you'll notice, even the steering wheel's remote control. It's connected to the wheel, so you see the steering wheel spinning around up there.
Hey guys, it's Lucas Till. We're behind the scenes of my new movie, Monster-Trucks, and this is JD, who makes all the magic happen with the truck. We want to explain what you do. I'm gonna hop in here and wait for you.
All right. So to make the truck look like the creature is inside of it and alive, we put a hydraulic system in it. It's powered by car batteries. It runs an electric motor, drives a hydraulic pump. The pump squishes all the hydraulic fluid into a tank at high pressure. And when we want, we can move our joysticks here, and the fluid's diverted from the tanks into the cylinders on all four corners, and we get the truck to move around any way we want. So we got forward, backwards, side, side. One of the things we needed the truck to do was get angry at Till here and try and spit him out. So we could take the truck, we could lean it over and kind of shake it around and get it look like we're gonna knock Till out of the truck.
That is just as fun as it looks, by the way.
You see that?
The scene that we saw a little bit of today is the scene where I confront our heroes and pretty much threaten them. It's a very long scene. It's a lot of dialogue for me. What are you gonna do? Go to the police and say that there are monsters coming up through the oil fields? And it's really fun. I mean, I was able to ad-lib a bunch, have a bunch of fun, and just to really go for it and make it, you know, funny. So it's a question of, well, how funny do you want it? I like to give the director a lot of choices, a lot of flavors, so he can flavor the soup when he gets in the editing room. And today, man, we were going for it. Today was the kind of day that makes me realize, however many years in I am, 30 years of doing this, it's still really fun for me.
I started the film as a nerdy guy. I end the film as a nerdy guy.
Okay, hands in.
I'm sorry, you're just so sweaty.
I'm nerdy the entire time, but I do get sort of more glorious in a lot of the truck driving that I get to do. And of people in the world who are great at fake truck driving, I'm probably in the top 5. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who could pretend to drive a giant truck better than me. I could do it for you right now, watch. Brakes. That was amazing. That's part of why I got the movie, was little stuff like that. I can also drive a truck and be scared. Ready? I can also pretend something's going by. Ready? Watch. This is another good one.
Hey! Sorry.
The set that we're in right now is a hangar that I work on my truck inside of. It's also where I have the first contact with the monster, and he comes in. I'm trying to hide from him in this pit where you work underneath cars, and he comes in looking real scary. He's actually just looking for food for the oil, but I think he's a monster, and I try to trap him in here and run out. It's our first face-to-face meeting.
What are you?
Today we take this monster truck over here and put it on a donut rig, which allows the truck to spin donuts without being dangerous, so that it's 100% accurate, the same every time.
We have our big Cadon bearing underneath here, which is bolted to this plate here. From there, the arm goes out, bolts up to the frame of the truck, and that connects the truck to the bearing, which is bolted to the concrete. And when the driver hits the gas, it's forced to go in the circular pattern that it is in.
We put a driver inside the engine compartment, and as it spins around, the production wants me to jump into an open door as it's spinning on this rig.
The actor can stand on this plate. It doesn't spin. It's connected to the concrete, and he'll be safe as the truck drives all the way around.
It's the truck! That thing is in the truck!
Move over! I'm driving!
Oh, really?
The 56 Dodge was decided on by the studio and the production designer. So when I came on, my mandate was to find this fairly obscure vehicle. I've got some very, very crafty people that I work with. They do it through the internet, they do it through car clubs, they do it through Craigslist. There's a myriad of different ways that they track these down. Frankly, to make what is portrayed as the one hero truck in the movie, we bought 18 of these 1956 Dodges. From all across North America. A few came out of Canada, North Carolina, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, Michigan, California, and then we gathered up parts and pieces with them to be able to formulate what we have now. And we've actually built 11 different versions of this truck.
Okay, why is he moving like this?
I don't know, he's hyper. Why would he be hyper all of a sudden?